Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Wrestle Buddy Raw Recap with the Drip King, Jimmy Bay. Tonight is all about the one man, the official GOAT, in my opinion, at this point in time. Yes, I have changed my mind. It is all about John Cena, the 20-year anniversary of his debut. That's what this night was all about. There was a lot of stuff riddled in there. A lot of packages for him, a lot of video promos. If you missed out on some of them, I'm sure WWE will have them up on their Twitter page for you to check out. So, yeah, that was the man of the night. We started off the show with everybody in the locker room out in the back, welcoming John Cena as he's coming through. He's greeting everybody as he's coming in. Everybody's like so happy to see him. Oh, it's John Cena. I would just like to point out the great job that Becky Lynch does with her character, where everyone else is just so happy to see Johnny. You just see Becky sitting in the back, just head down, playing to the character, just not even that fast, just kind of like the broken down Becky. She's still playing it even when she's involved in these kind of things. It's just a thing of beauty. So thank you, Becky, for being that dedicated to the character. That was the beginning of the show, and I thought they might go right into the John Cena promo from there, but no, they're going to go ahead and save that for later in the night, 9 o'clock hour. That seems to be their hot spot now to try and lure people into that third hour. So instead of that, they went ahead and started off with a multi-man match for a Money in the Bank qualifier spot. This match was originally supposed to be Kevin Owens versus Ezekiel, Elrod, or Elias, whichever one decided to show up. For some reason, I'm assuming it had to do with Kevin Owens because he wasn't on the show at all. The match didn't happen. So they went ahead and did this match instead, not against it. It was, and since I'm quick with the pen, you're lucky, I got all the names for this. It was a battle royal, and we got Rey Mysterio, Dominic, Ricochet, Shanky, Jinder, Shinsuke, R-Truth, Dolph Ziggler, Reggie. That was kind of an odd one. Miz, Ciampa, Riddle, Ali, AJ, Shelton, Tozawa, Veer, and T-Bar. That's right. I got every single name down. I am that good, baby. You're very, very welcome. Few notes on this match. It was pretty predictable who was going to win this match. I will say there was some things I liked. One, it took Ali and both Mysterios to eliminate Veer. That was interesting because it was nice because it allowed Veer to still look like that dominant, strong man and kind of not continue the stuff with Mysterios. That shouldn't stand. But that's how Veer was eliminated. Veer ended up eliminating Shanky, which was, they've been having kind of a thing because Shanky just wants to dance and Jinder wants him to do his heavy lifting for him. So he ended up eliminating Shanky there. And then after that, Miz ended up faking an injury. It was clear he was faking an injury, and it got down to AJ Styles versus Riddle. AJ went for the phenomenal forearm, jumped over the ropes, went to do it. Miz jumped up. My injury isn't there. I'm good, baby. And he takes AJ down, goes in, comes down to Miz and Riddle. They fight for a little bit. We get the Randy stuff from Riddle for a little bit. They end up both on the apron. RKO onto the apron. He loses. He falls. Riddle's your winner. So, thankfully, Riddle found his way into the Money in the Bank match because it needed to happen. It would have been a complete travesty if this man was not in the Money in the Bank as hot as he was going into that Roman Reigns match. So that has been cured. It's fixed. We're done. No more. I won't complain about the fact that Riddle wasn't in Money in the Bank because now he's there. We're all good. We're off to the races. Bro in the Bank is still a possibility. After that, they go to commercial break, come back. We get our first John Cena segment with talent, and it is with the Street Profits, and he basically tells them, hey, don't give up. That was the gist of it, and that's all it was, and that led straight into a Montez Ford versus Jey Uso match. But before we get to that, oh yes, and before I go, thank you very much for pointing this out. I didn't write it down, and I'm slapping myself for it because it was a shame I didn't do it. T-Bar had a nice showing in this match. He did. He ended up getting eliminated by Ricochet in a very cool spot. They had ladders all around, and he threw Ricochet out. Ricochet landed on the ladder, and then T-Bar was basically blocking him. Ricochet ended up coming back, and he ended up getting the Hurricane Rana to knock T-Bar down. T-Bar, I think, made at least halfway through this battle royal. He got some eliminations too. So he had a good showing, thankfully. This probably won't lead to anything, unfortunately, for him. That's a damn shame. But yes, he did have a good showing. Thank you for pointing that out, David. I should be slapped. I really should for not pointing that out because we all love T-Bar and he deserves more. Before we get to the Montez Ford and Jey Uso match, though, that was very interesting. They had throughout, like I said, John Cena Appreciation Night, the video stuff, and in this first one, we got a Big Show sighting. That's right, Paul White from AEW appearing as the Big Show to congratulate John Cena. But that's not all, because then Bryan Danielson appeared as Daniel Bryan. That's right, they made them keep the WWE names in these video packages, congratulating John Cena on 20 years. This was very, very cool and very, very shocking. I did not see that happen. When I first saw the Big Show, when I was like, did AEW and him part ways without me knowing what happened here? Nope, because then there was Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson, Danny Bryan, whatever you want to refer to. It was there. It was very cool. But there's one more later in the night, which was even kind of bigger. I didn't even watch, and I caught it. Shame on you. Yes, I did notice it in the match. I kept saying, like, damn, that's pretty cool. And my son was like, T-Bar is doing pretty good. And I was like, yeah, he actually is. That's very cool. I noticed it watching. I just didn't write it down for some reason. Shame. I deserve the shame, honestly. I do, because, again, we all love T-Bar. And then after that, we got a Riddle promo in which he said that was for Randy. He's back on He's back on track. And he's going to Vegas, and he's very excited. He started shaking Kevin Patrick. I think that's his name. I'm pretty sure I got it right by this time. And yeah, he's so excited about that. So Riddle, thank you so much, bro. In the bank, give it to me. Give it to me now. Montez and Jey Uso. I'm pretty sure Montez fought Jimmy Uso 2 weeks ago. So this match was pretty much a little bit more of the same. I actually think this one was slightly better. But we're done. Hopefully, after Money in the Bank, they don't do anything for a while because it's been beaten to death. Tag team division WWE has taken a shit, which is so unfortunate because when the draft happened, they were doing such good groundwork with it. Montez ended up getting the victory here again, though, which is kind of crazy because that's now 3 weeks in a row, 3 matches in a row in the singles competition in which the Usos have taken a loss. So that all but guarantees us one thing. The Usos are retaining at Money in the Bank. Yes, that's probably what's going to happen. And it wouldn't surprise me one bit if we got Montez versus Jimmy on SmackDown the night before Money in the Bank. We shall see, though. After that, we had a Rey Mysterio, Dom Mysterio sighting again, and this time it was Finn Balor and Damian Priest, which they crossed paths with. Very interesting that Finn and Damian weren't even in the Battle Royal to begin with. That's a damn shame. I will admit I was wrong when Finn took over for Judgment Day. I will say it probably has a little bit to do with Rhea Ripley being gone, but I really thought this was going to be big for Finn, and Judgment Day just kind of took a crash landing, and it's kind of like nothing right now. Hopefully Rhea comes back and that revitalizes, but we shall see. Shame on them for just taking the rug completely out from under if that's exactly what has happened. Again, I will wait for Rhea to come back to make that final call. But basically, they're running. They were fighting each other on main event, so now that's just going to come over to Raw. They said, "Oh, you got in our way, something, and then they're going to fight next week. Tag team. You're going to get the Mysterios versus Judgment Day. We'll see what happens here. Is the only good news about this is that the Mysterios are involved with someone else. They're moved on from Veer. That's. Thank you very much on that one. After that, we get a Cena video package. If you haven't seen it on Twitter, this was the good one. 5 minutes, just goes over the career. It's like a career retrospective of John Cena. I don't need to tell you how good WWE is. These video packages, they're beautiful. They're really, really good, and this is no exception. Something about a Forbidden Door reference. Just saying, yes, the Forbidden Door of all Forbidden Doors was creaked open a little bit tonight, so that some people could just say hello we acknowledge John Cena, and then left. That's all we'll get out of it. But it was very cool to see Big Show and Bryan Danielson on there. They get lots of practice. Yes, they do. I'm not even gonna argue that they got lots of practice. Tag teams, it's in shambles. I fucking hate it, man, because they do have tag teams, they're just not using them. And then from there, we go to a Miz interview. Miz comes out and he's talking about Logan Paul because Logan Paul has started showcasing that he's practicing to come back to the ring. So SummerSlam, obviously, I think that's what everybody was thinking. And basically, Miz tried to say, "No, we're still cool." I told him afterwards that was just a life lesson for him, and that once he comes back, they're going to end up being. I'm tripping over words. End up being the undisputed. I'm done tripping over words. I promise you guys. The undisputed tag team champions when he comes back. There's no beef there, which means there's probably beef there, and then we're going to get Miz versus Logan Paul at SummerSlam. Probably. We shall see. Hopefully Logan Paul has learned a few more tricks and he's not just that one match pony from WrestleMania, because he did show out of WrestleMania. I was very impressed. So hopefully he builds on that. We can actually get something more. Then he went right into ripping on AJ Styles, saying his career is going crash landing. Then AJ Styles comes out, just storms to the ring, gets to the ring, and just punches Miz in the face. Miz falls down. It's like, what the heck, man? Commercial break. So when we come back, you know what the deal is. Miz versus AJ Styles. And now I just want to give Miz some credit here because I have been shitting on him a lot lately about his in-ring work, and even was like thrilled about the idea of him becoming a manager to Ciampa to get him out of the ring as much. He had a very good showing tonight with AJ Styles. Did that have to do with AJ Styles? Probably. That's not a knock on Miz. I know it kind of sounds like it, but this might have been the best match I've seen Miz have in a very, 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 add 20 more varies in there, a long time. He's hitting some offense I haven't seen him hit in a very long time. He was even using some of the Daniel Bryan stuff that he was using, Bryan Danielson, whichever one you want to use. He was using some of his stuff in this match, the flying knee, the kicks. It was nice. The backbreaker that he hit in the corner on AJ, very, very nice. AJ got busted open at one point. I'm sure it was just the cut that he had from the other day, just reopened. And then from there, Miz, once this was going wrong for Miz, he just said, "I'm done," and he walked off, and then AJ won by count out. I'm not mad at the count out here just because of the fact I was shocked at how Miz performed tonight. I dare say this was the best match of the night. That's not saying a whole lot, but it was a good match. I don't want to take anything. It was a good match. AJ wins. That feud's going to continue, unfortunately. Get AJ into something bigger and better, please. From there, we go to backstage and we get a John Cena and Ezekiel promo where he's just, "Yo, I'm geeked for Zeke to speak," some nonsense like that. John Cena's like, "Yeah, where's Elias?" He goes, "He's somewhere around here with Elrod," showing him around. And then he goes, "I'm just trying to, I just want to trod with Elrod something." He's got his little phrase for everybody. Walk with Elias, trod with Elrod, and speak with Zeke. From there, Theory confronts John Cena. Thank you. The moment of the night, in my opinion, because I'm so excited to watch this match. I'm so excited to see this thing happen. He basically confronts him, runs John Cena down as John Cena just stands there and watches. He's just like, what is this little kid doing? And then he hits John Cena with the line, "You're a grown-ass man still wearing jorts." Then he turns around to do the selfie. As he's turned around, John Cena leaves. Or did he? We don't know. The selfie was taken, but you can't see him. So we don't even know what the selfie looks like. Hopefully he got it and it's there. But I love the segment because, again, I'm a Theory mark. I don't even care about the word mark. It doesn't hurt my feelings at all. I love him. I think it's going to be great when him and John Cena do work together. And this was just a great introduction for the two. Let's see what we got here. I'll just get to it because they're talking about it in the comments. We got the third Forbidden Door entrant into the congratulations of John Cena, and it was none other than Chris Jericho. He basically was telling, "Hey, one of my favorite opponents of all time. Congratulations." It was very, very interesting to see Chris Jericho here. And because he's a wizard, he can be everywhere. That's right. Thankfully, he didn't throw no fireball in anybody's face, but I'm not mad. I like seeing Chris Jericho here doing it. That sounds familiar. The Theory Cena segment. If you can go ahead and refresh everybody's memory, because I'm drawing a blank right here, and I'll break it down or shout it out. We'll see what's going on with that. In the meantime, though, I will go back to the show in which we have a Bianca versus Mela segment. Nothing major here. Again, this was a feud that they kind of just had to throw together due to injuries. Mela, I always say Mela is money. It's not just a catchphrase. It's real. Oh, Phil and Max. No, it was not as good as Phil and Max for sure. And no, I won't even compare it to it. I won't. I won't do that. Young and old, I'll do that comparison. They're very similar. The Phil and Max similar in what they do, and then Cena and Theory similar in what they do. That's about the gist of that, though. Back to the Carmella love, though, because again, she is money. When they need someone, she steps up and she shows out. Her promo tonight was great. Oh, there you go. The walking part saying nothing. Yes, absolutely. There you go. I'll take that. That was good. It was very close and very similar. And it wouldn't surprise me one bit if Cena did that, because that's what Punk did. They're friends. They like poking fun at each other. So yeah, Bianca did hers. It was a decent promo from Bianca, but Mela came out and stole the whole segment here. Nice promo. She just like, yo, I am this bitch. You will recognize. I do this. I don't need their respect. I take the respect just like I'm going to take your title. Walks away. She tries to get the sneak attack on. Bianca saw, then Mela's gone. That was the segment. Nothing, like I said, nothing flashy. It did the job, though. It was good. And thank you, Mela, for being that damn good. You are money. From there, we go to a Liv and Alexa segment in the backstage in which they're friends, but Alexa's talk about, I'm this, I'm that. You're not there yet. I'm going to do this. Maybe one day you'll be champion. Then Liv said, hit him with a nice John Cena line, says, I've learned something from John Cena. Never give up. And I can't remember what the line was before us, but then she basically said, my time is now. With that said, I think I'm going to go ahead and put my eggs in the basket. Liv Morgan is probably going to win Money in the Bank. Mela is money. That's right. She is money every time. Yes, I think Liv is going to win Money in the Bank at this point. I like looking at little things like this and saying, okay, that's not coincidental. There's a reason for it. It just makes sense. I'll get to the Money in the Bank thing at the end, because the main event is bringing in the last competitor for the women's side. After that, Liv and Alexa have themselves a match. It was nothing special. I wish they would have saved this for like a bigger moment, because this is the first time they've actually competed. There was a little bit of sloppiness, but it wasn't a terrible outing by either one of them. I'm not mad at it. Liv ended up getting the nice roll-up victory on Alexa when she went for the DDT. It was a nice roll-up package, and then pinned her 1, 2, 3. Alexa just kind of laughed it off, and then Liv was like, yeah, that's right. I'm getting that. Typical Liv Morgan stuff. Nothing to write home about, but it wasn't a bad match at all with the time it was given. Next up, Mr. McMahon, the No Chance in Hell song comes out, because for some reason he still feels the need to be coming out. I don't get it. And all he did was say, hey, it's John Cena. And then John Cena music hits, and then Vince McMahon's gone. I don't get the idea behind it. Like, it's kind of silly, but whatever. I don't write it. It is what it is. It's not going to make me hate the show. Just, I don't get it. So John Cena comes out. They got the row of talent again, welcoming John Cena out. He comes out, does the salute, runs down the ring, slides in as only John Cena can, and then proceeds to go ahead and give, I would say, like a 7 to 8 minute promo from the heart. Had the crowd in the palm of his hand, had me at the edge of my seat, my son just like, yeah, John Cena's back. Had the crowd just really into the fact that John Cena is back. Missed opportunity here, WWE, and no shame on me this time, shame on you. You have Austin Theory just waiting to get in this program with John Cena. You have a moment where John Cena has returned on his anniversary with the crowd just hype, with nothing but love for this man. And you don't take advantage of this with the cheap opportunity to have Austin Theory come out there and get, as Bully Ray would say, nuclear heat. by just beating the shit out of John Cena and leaving him laying there before his next little segment where John Cena has to get hauled out. You are fools. You are such fools. You had the opportunity. It was right there for you. I don't even care if it was cheap. It was right there. I was waiting the whole time. I was like, okay, when's it happen? It's got to happen. There has to be a reason for all this. And then John Cena walked off, threw his little wristbands out, threw his hat out, gave a shirt to a kid who didn't even seem that interested. So that kid should just give it to another kid. That was a damn shame. And then John Cena posed with some people in the crowd without a shirt on, then walked in the back, came back out. And then that's when I was like, oh, it's happening here. And he said his little whatever and then left. And that was a segment. This is a frustrating moment for me because, again, the opportunity was right there in the palm of your hands. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. That is why John Cena is back. He is there to give you these kind of moments, and you rob the people of it. I don't care if you just did it with Johnny Gargano and Grayson Waller and NXT less than a year ago. That was another show. You could have done it with John Cena on a much bigger level, and you fucked it up, WWE. Ooh, you make me mad sometimes, and this is one of those times. It was just that's all I'll say about it. That's all I'll say about it. Missed opportunity last time. Okay, on to the next part of the show. Because what happened next? Oh, it's Austin Theory's segment anyway, so he would have came out anyway. Let's see. We got John Cena, the greatest. Yes, as I start off the show, I'm officially on board. I'm gonna go ahead and call him the GOAT. I don't see how you can't at this point. He's done everything all the other GOATs have done. He's done it in a much more difficult era in the time of social media where he's done it with such grace. He's a perfect human being. Bad creative team. I don't even know if bad is the word for it. I think that's a shot at calling the whatever you want to call bad, man. It's like it was just so easy to do. I was expecting Theory to tackle. Yeah, exactly. I think it was all there. Even though we were expecting it, we would have loved it. It would have been so fucking good. And they just missed the opportunity. It's just crazy to me. It's crazy to me. That's all I can say. So, next segment, we get Bobby Lashley taking on Alpha Academy in a 2-on-1 handicap match. And Austin Theory is the special enforcer for this match. So he could have beat John Cena up and then just stayed out there taking selfies through the commercial break as he waited for Bobby Lashley to come down to take on the 2-on-1 handicap match. It's like, come on, man. Y'all put him back to back like that. You didn't do nothing with it. It's wild. I'm stop complaining though. I'm gonna stop doing it. I'm not even being mean about it. I'm trying to stay positive, trying to be happy and stuff about it. But man, it's just crazy you missed that opportunity. So Bobby Lashley taking on Alpha Academy 2-on-1. It's crazy about this match is last week Gable took it to Bobby Lashley on his own. So why am I to expect that he can take Alpha Academy on? But he did. It wasn't terrible by no means. Went through 2 segments. Gable and Otis got a lot of offense in. Theory got his little distractions in. He got some selfies in as Otis was, here we go, his little selfies in as Otis was manhandling Bobby Lashley. And then Bobby Lashley just ended up fighting back, threw Otis out, caught Gable off the top into the hurt lock. I love the way he gets that hurt lock on Gable. It's because he's so small and Gable sells like a champ. But man, it's so pretty how it happens. And then Gable taps out immediately. Theory jumps in, attacks him. It's a 3-on-1, but Bobby Lashley is the almighty. And he just fights back. Austin Theory leaves before he gets a spear, though. But what we actually need is John Cena versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania or John Cena versus The Rock Part 3. Let's not forget, it's 1-1 John Cena versus Theory at WrestleMania. I will say this. No Rock versus Cena. I don't think we need that one. I think The Rock has one more match left in him, and that's definitely Roman Reigns. I'm not mad about the idea of Cena, John Cena, and Randy Orton or a John Cena and Edge match one more time, as long as it makes sense and it's just not something they're doing just for the sake of doing. I definitely think there's a Cena Edge program to be done still. Maybe not Orton and Cena. They've wrestled I think the number was 200 plus times in their career. But with Edge's career getting cut short, I do think there's room for one more program between them. Once John Cena has put over Austin Theory, though, that has to happen first. Cena versus Edge at WrestleMania. I'm down for that 100%. You just have to get Edge as a heel again. So we'll see what happens there. Probably won't happen, but I'll cross my fingers because I do want to see that match one more time. More for the program than the match itself. So yeah, Theory runs away, doesn't get the spear. Bobby Lashley stands tall. It's very interesting because he really hasn't got his hands on Theory that much, which makes me think, oh, he's probably going to win. But at the same time, Theory can't take a loss going into SummerSlam if he's taking on John Cena. That doesn't make sense either. So I don't know who's winning this match, which, thank you. That's what I want to see. How about the forbidden door opens? We see MJF versus John Cena. I don't think we'll ever see that match. I don't. I think MJF is embroiled in a very, very, very deep cover storyline in AEW right now. It's a work and everything, but that's for another day. I don't want to get too much involved in that one. This is Raw, baby. Next up, a very interesting thing happens because you would think they promote this for the show. This, if they're that concerned about their ratings, this would be a ratings grab. You have John Cena showing up first off. And then for the few that don't care, well, shame on you if you don't care about John Cena. But then you have Cody Rhodes in an interview with the first time we've seen him since he got attacked. So why would you not promote this for the show? That's kind of weird. But they did Cody interview, and it was nothing more than just selling Money in the Bank. He puts over everybody in the match. It was great. How he did it, just him doing some great promo work as he does. And that's all it really was. I love that he put over Sami Zayn tremendously during this Money in the Bank sell job that he did. Thank you, Cody. Thank you very much. Sami Zayn deserves all the love. Want to finally see a Cena heel turn. I would love to see a John Cena NWO. I don't even care that NWO has been. I love NWO, and I hate what they did to it when they brought him in. But with the Firefly Funhouse thing, I think it could work with John Cena. It would be so fun, even if it was just a 6-month run. I think it could be fun. But as David points out, and I agree with him 100%, it'll never happen. It'll never happen. A lot of me wants to see it, but then a part of me is like, no, just don't let him ride off in the sunset as John Cena because he's John fucking Cena and he's the man. Do you think John Cena will win his 17th world title? I don't think he needs it either. I don't think he needs it. I think, as I said, he solidified himself as a GOAT by just being a fantastic and phenomenal human being while also being the man for so long in the toughest era of professional wrestling. He is the last of the big name people in wrestling. There will never be another one that rivals that level of superstar in wrestling. That's just how I see it. If Gina had to face current NXT superstar, who would you pick? That's a good one. I would have to say, that's hard. Grayson Waller, just for the fact that I just really like Grayson Waller. I don't want to see it to happen for a while, though, like probably a year and a half, 2 years. Just because I think Grayson Waller can carry a program with him. As far as match quality goes, Carmelo Hayes, hands down, 100%. But I think Grayson Waller and him could have a really good program. And again, I agree with David here. He doesn't need it, and he doesn't want it because there's no need for it. I also had Waller in mind. Great minds think alike there, Deshaun. So there you go. Thank you for that. So after the Cody thing, we get a Cena and Rollins backstage segment in which Seth Rollins hit the laugh. He was doing the laugh to the tune of John Cena's music. It was good. Seth Rollins doing what Seth Rollins does best. They had a little moment. He makes fun of John Cena for never cashing in his Money in the Bank successfully, even though he did it, and it was the greatest of all time, and he's going to do it again. And then Omos and MVP show up, and then John Cena looks up at Omos, says good luck with that, leaves, face off between Seth and Omos. Hopefully we don't see that match anytime soon because it doesn't need to happen, and I'll end it there because that's all I'm going to say. From there, it's time for the main event. We're getting Becky with the women main event again, so that's cool. What's not cool is they went the exact way I thought. It was predictable. I didn't think they were going that way the first. I'll get to that in a second, though. But it's Becky Lynch, Doudrop, Nikki ASH, Shayna Baszler, Xia Li, and Tamina in a last chance qualifier. Tripped over my words one last time. Won't happen again. last chance qualifier match. Now, I think we all know who is going to win this match. They had a real opportunity here to pull a swerve on us, and it would have been great, but they didn't. I'll get to that in a second, though, how I would have booked this, because I love fantasy booking, and I think everyone will agree with how I was going to do it. That laugh killed me. Yes, it was very good. If he's doing it again, that means Matt ain't winning. I'll get to that as well in a second. And then Cena versus Rollins, amazing feud, but Rollins is one hell of an awesome superstar. Yes, top superstar in the world, in my opinion. I think he has the full package. He's just clicking on all cylinders, and I don't think he can be touched. I was starting to get offended by not seeing Becky in the Money in the Bank match. Here's the thing. I love Becky. She is one of my all-time favorites. That's no joke. Cena never has and never will turn heel. No. I love Becky Lynch. Love her. One of my all-time favorite superstars in wrestling. Love everything she does. The character work is just, it's brilliant. So this is how the match went down. We had Becky pin Xia Li, and then we had Becky submit Nikki ASH. And I thought, okay, you're going to have Becky literally eliminate every single person. And Shayna Baszler was doing a lot of stuff on the outside. And I think they also teased her and Ronda getting a little thing backstage at one point. And I was thinking, Becky is going to literally eliminate everybody. And then Shayna Baszler is going to swoop in at the end and beat Becky Lynch. And Shayna Baszler is going to be in the Money in the Bank. Thank you, because she should get way more opportunities than she gets. And then Becky Lynch was going to further go down that downward spiral. Made sense. And again, with Becky pinning Xia Li and then submitting Nikki ASH, that's definitely what it looked like we were doing. But then Doudrop pinned Shayna Baszler, and my heart just dropped. I was like, damn. Love Becky Lynch. Does not need to be in this match. I do know why she's there. Doesn't need to be there. But then Doudrop pinned Tamina, and then that's when I was like, yep. And then they did the exact same manhandle slam spot that they did at Royal Rumble, and Becky pinned Doudrop. So Becky is in Money in the Bank. Then they showed the graphic, and it made sense, because there is not star power in this Money in the Bank match. Do they need it? Probably not, but you know they're going to do it. And if I'm looking at it, the only other person they probably could have put in here is Charlotte Flair. So if I have my choice between Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair, I'm taking Becky Lynch 12 times out of 10. It's not even a question. So, again, I would have booked it differently. Shayna Baszler would have been in it. Becky Lynch would have beat everybody except for her, and it would have just sent her in a full-on crazy, I'm going to just murder everybody, psycho, downward spiral, and Shayna Baszler would have got an opportunity. Very cool. Becky is like Stone Cold Steve Austin of the women's division. She's full of attitude. She always has kind of insult to say. She gets people going crazy, even when playing heel. Yes, but I think it works better when she's a baby face. The heel stuff is fun. It's not as good as her run as the man. They could have picked up with Shayna from the Elimination Chamber push with yes, absolutely. That's why I said I think they missed just a crazy opportunity. And I wouldn't have had her. I would have literally only had her eliminate Becky just to send Becky just cuckoo banana crazy nuts. That's why not? Why not? I agree, Jimmy. Of course we agree. I'm always right 99% of the time. No, 60%. I'm always right 60% of the time. So to go back to the men's Money in the Bank with what he says. Where'd it go? I lost it. If he's doing it, that means Matt ain't winning it. Here's what I like about this men's Money in the Bank. I don't think I know Drew's not winning it. I know Sheamus isn't winning it. I know Omos isn't winning it. We have Seth. We have Riddle, and we have Zayn. And then we have one last spot, which could go. I'm imagining they'll do the Kevin Owens Ezekiel match on SmackDown to get that last one in there. I don't think either one of those will win Money in the Bank. We have three men: Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins, and Riddle, who could win Money in the Bank. Usually we have a fairly decent idea, unless it was the year of Otis, which that just blew everybody's fucking mind. But we have a legit three-way race to who wins this. Rollins because of the Cody feud, and that's what Cody was pushing during his little interview. We have Riddle winning it because he can't challenge for the title again. But if he gets the briefcase, he can challenge for the title again. And again, he is like literally in the hottest storyline in all of WWE right now. So you do it. And then you have Sami Zayn, who is embroiled with the bloodline. And then he's like, I'm winning it for you, Roman, so that no one can cash in on you. There's dissension there. There's intertwining story there. And it writes itself. It's great. So David's patting himself on the back. I picked Otis and Nikki that year. Oscar won it that year, I think. Yeah, Oscar won it. So you got half of them right. That's crazy if you picked Otis. That's wild. I'll get to that one in a second too. But I love the fact that we have 3 people who could win the men's Money in the Bank, and guess what? I love each of them. I think each of them are just going to do magic with the briefcase if they get it. So I look forward to that. If any of the other ones win it, I'm going to be like, what the fuck? What are you doing? You have 3 stories that are just staring you in the face, kind of like with Austin Theory not attacking John Cena when it's right there in front of your face. It's right there. You can't miss it. Don't screw this up with Riddle, Sammy, or Rollins. You can't go wrong. I don't care which one of them wins it. Just do it. Just do it, baby. Would I consider Bianca and Naomi a dream match? I don't think it's a dream match. I think it's a very good, fun match, though, for sure. Naomi's probably the most underrated female on that roster. And then I got Drew as my winner this year. He's already got Clash at the Castle. That's why I don't even look at him as a viable option for Money in the Bank. If he won that and got Clash at the Castle, I'd kind of be a little bit disappointed. But I'm going too far into this. I will be back on Friday probably for the prediction show, in which I will go probably crazier with my theories then. So if you want to hear more of that, tune in then. If not, before then, you can tune in on AEW Dynamite recap. After Dynamite goes off the air, I'll be back for that. The Forbidden Door post-show of Dynamite. I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully they get back on track with the AEW stuff. Hopefully we will see what happens, see what these injuries do. There's a lot of rumors on those, so hopefully Dynamite doesn't suffer too much. But I will be back then. Tonight's Raw. I really enjoyed the Raw. There wasn't a lot of wrestling, but I think a lot of stuff happened while also celebrating the GOAT, John Cena. So I really enjoyed it. Claudio in the cage. Yes, absolutely. Claudio in a cage on Dynamite. If you need anything else to be sold, I don't know what to tell you. I don't. Claudio in a cage. He's going to go, like I said, cuckoo fucking bananas, or Cesaro. Yeah, Claudio or Cesaro. It's going to be awesome. He's going to wreak havoc. But yes, Ross, I really enjoyed tonight's Raw. I think there was predictability, but it was fun. It was a fun show tonight as we celebrate John Cena. So with that said, before I leave, who's your favorite heel of all time? Who's your favorite face of all time? My favorite heel of all time is Hollywood Hulk Hogan. I hate Hulk Hogan with a passion, but Hollywood Hulk Hogan is such a good heel. And my favorite face of all time, probably Stone Cold Steve Austin Attitude Era. That's probably it. Yeah. Looking back, yeah, that's definitely it. Those are my 2. Yeah, I'll go with those. Hollywood Hulk Hogan, the run with NWO was just amazing. I don't think it can ever be touched as far as heel work goes. And then Stone Cold, he was kicking his boss's ass. That's how do you not love that? That's just the greatest thing of all time. That it is. And then John the GOAT, yes, he is for sure. That's the show though. Thank you all for joining. Very hot chat tonight. I really appreciate everybody there. I hope to see you back on Dynamite next week. If the AEW is not your thing, hopefully we'll be back next week for Raw. But until then, you can also check out the prediction show for Money in the Bank on Friday. One last time for you. So thank you for that. I will see you guys then, and goodbye. Boom. I got to get the thing. I'm still producing my own shows here. I got it, though. Bye.